is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path.
First reading. A reading from the prophet Daniel, chapter 7, verses 9 to 10 and verses 13 to 14. As I watched, thrones were set up, and the Ancient One took his throne. His clothing was bright as snow, and the hair on his head as white as wool. His throne was flaming of fire, with wheels of burning fire. A surging stream of fire flowed out from where he sat. Thousands upon thousands were ministering to him, and myriads upon myriads attended him. The court was convened, and the books were opened. As the vision during the night continued, I saw one like a son of man coming on the clouds of heaven. When he reached the Ancient One and was presented before him, the one like a son of man received dominion, glory, and kingship. All peoples, nations, and languages serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion that shall not be taken away. His kingship shall not be destroyed. The word of the Lord.
Second reading. A reading from the second letter of Peter, chapter 1, verses 16 to 19. Beloved, we did not follow cleverly devised myths when we made known to you the power and coming of our Lord Jesus Christ, but we had been eyewitness of his majesty. For he received honor and glory from God the Father, when that unique declaration came to him from the majestic glory. This is my Son, my beloved, with whom I am well pleased. We ourselves heard this voice come from heaven, while we were within him on the holy mountain. Moreover, we possess the prophetic message that is altogether reliable. You will do well to be attentive to it, as to a lamp shining in a dark place, until day dawns and the morning star rises in your hearts. This is the word of the Lord.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Luke, chapter 9, verses 28 to 36. Jesus took Peter, John, and James and went up a mountain to pray. While he was praying, his face changed in appearance, and his clothing became dazzling white. And behold, two men were conversing with him, Moses and Elijah, who appeared in glory and spoke of his exodus, that he was going to accomplish in Jerusalem. Peter and his companions had been overcome by sleep, but, becoming fully awake, they saw his glory and the two men standing with him. As they were about to part from him, Peter said to Jesus, Master, it is good that we are here. Let us make 3 tents, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah. But he did not know what he was saying. While he was still speaking, a cloud came and cast a shadow over them, and they became frightened when they entered the cloud. Then from the cloud came a voice that said, This is my chosen Son, listen to him. After the voice had spoken, Jesus was found alone. They fell silent and did not, at that time, tell anyone what they had seen. The Gospel of the Lord.
Dear friends in Jesus Christ, in the Gospel today, we find the disciples of Jesus, Peter, James, and John, in an unexpected situation. Jesus was transfigured all of a sudden, and they could not apprehend what was going on. Dear friends, as a country, we are in a situation like the one in which those disciples were. Things happen around us in a way which we never expected. People have lost their jobs. Children cannot go to school. People do not have even the basic things they need. An unexpected situation. Now, we'll come to the Gospel once again. Now, when these disciples found themselves in this unexpected situation, what did they do? What did Peter do? Peter suggests a certain thing. He tells Jesus, Lord, it is good for us to be here. If you wish, I will make 3 dwellings, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah. Peter had his own suggestion. He had his own way of going about. Dear friends, similarly, when we are found in unexpected situations, we have our own ideas, our own whims and fancies, and we think that they are the best, and we follow these ideas, these suggestions like Peter. Now, come to the Gospel once again and see what happened next. Now, when Peter had his own suggestion, what happened in the Gospel? As the text says, a bright cloud overshadowed them, and from the cloud a voice said, This is my Son, the Beloved, listen to him. God the Father said from heaven, Peter, listen to my Son. In other words, he said, Peter, you may have your own ideas, but none of them is the best. My Son has the best plan for you. Therefore, listen to him. Dear friends, in our life when we find ourselves in unexpected situations, what do we do? Do we listen to Jesus as God the Father recommends us? Or do we follow our own suggestions? Most of the times, we follow our own suggestions and we do not listen to Jesus. That is why people give very less time for personal prayer. Sometimes when I ask youngsters about the time they give for personal prayer, I get shocked. Some of them do not give even 5 minutes for personal prayer. Some not even a single minute. Now my question is, how can they proceed in life without consulting Jesus and receiving his guidance? Therefore, dear friends, let us do what God the Father recommends. Let us listen to Jesus and let us receive his guidance and do as he says.